Welcome back to the King of the League. My name is Cromar, and I'm here today on a solo cast between Solar Flares and Demacian crew here in Division 3 on the King of the League tournament for TGN League. And I just recently spectated a Solar Flares game with Pally-Time. So you might recognize some of these players if you've seen that video already. Viper MK2 is the team captain. He is playing mid lane once again on Kennen. I believe in the previous game he was playing Orianna, now he's playing Kennen. And on the rest of the team, we have Rapid Fire back on Leona. We have Mr. Bunnyman taking Lee Sin. I believe he was Zac in the previous game. We have Schwazby playing Trundle. He's actually trading off now. It was Blue Amigo taking that position, top lane, and Schwazby taking the AD carry position on Vayne. They've swapped. Blue Amigo has taken Ezreal. On the other team, Demacian crew, this is the first game with them that I've seen, so I don't know these players just yet, but I'm sure we'll get to know them quickly. We have Sioshi on Zyra facing off against the Kennen on Viper. And then we have Huge Rectums, which is a great name for an AD carry. It's going to be fun saying his name constantly throughout this cast. Big PP Swag on Rumble. Great name. Blue Amigo's about to get caught, by the way. We'll get back to the players in a bit. He is going to get caught with a death sentence. That's going to be a first blood immediately for Demacian crew. Wow. And it even goes to Vayne. Huge Rectum's getting the first blood advantage. And Mr. Bunnyman now is forced to flash to escape. I don't know what he was doing there. I guess he was going for a counter jungle of some kind. And he's going to Iron Will over to Viper. So a flash down as well. And a massive advantage going to bot lane at the start of the game. Nice work, guys. It was just kind of a messy counter jungle attempt there from Solar Flares. So not a good way to start the game. Viper MK2, by the way, excellent player. He's a really, really strong mid laner. Very dangerous. And we saw him on Orianna. He was very good on Orianna. He's definitely their carry. But they had trouble in that game in that they didn't have enough peel for their carry, their AD carry rather, their Vayne. And ultimately the Vayne was very far behind and was a non-factor in team fights because they were constantly shut down by the diving carry. We have another death sentence here on Ezreal. This guy is getting sick of that ability. Rapid Fire here to protect him, but he's forced to flash to escape. That's not good. So now Blue Amigo is not only down a kill, but he's also down a flash. He does have his Ignite ready in case there's a fight that he might be able to win, but I'm feeling right now that Thresh is a major advantage here. By the way, that's a great counter pick to Leona. I'm a Leona player, and we saw in the previous game with Solar Flares versus bot lane that Leona had a lot of trouble defending against Thresh. She's not bad at peeling. I mean, she can kind of peel, but she can't do anything about Death Sentence, about the second activate on Death Sentence where Thresh actually will jump on top of Ezreal directly. That's going to be a huge problem. Leona can't really defend against that. But Leona can stop the carry. Can stop the AD carry. If Huge Rectum's on Vayne tries to go deep on Ezreal, then she can protect him pretty easily and help Ezreal escape. So certainly pre-level 6, I would say Leona is very strong here in defending Ezreal, but the reverse, the offense, Leona against Thresh is not a good setup. Leona, no matter how well she catches Vayne, she can get out CC'd by Thresh and get peeled so he can escape. Mr. Bunnyman low on health, taking his red. Good thing he's not getting counter jungle, but he is up against Amumu. So that's probably the only player we haven't talked about yet. Simplex on Amumu. Let's see how he does. Amumu is my favorite champion, probably. Probably the one I've played the most, at least in the TGN squadrons, in organized teams. However, I usually duo queue support most of my games. Anyway, Schwazby on Trundle getting caught, forced to flash. Gets caught by a perfect bandage from Simplex and a perfect Pillar of Filth knocking him back. He is just barely going to escape. The Ignite ticking away, though, he's going to live. It was actually a pretty nice gank. They managed to get his flash, trade it for an Ignite, not bad. Yeah, he is going to go back. He's going to recall. He's forced to. He's no choice. And Sioshi pressuring Viper. I would give this matchup to Viper only based on what I've seen. I have not seen Sioshi in action, though, so we'll see. Rapid Fire actually getting caught by the Death Sentence. That's not a great choice from Thresh. You do not want to focus the support, except in some rare cases like maybe Sona, if she's overextending the harass, or in cases where the AD carry is so pressured or low or can't fight back for some reason. But in this case, grabbing Leona and then focusing her with the Death Sentence is a bad idea because they paid for it. Huge Rectums was damaged heavily, forced to potion up, and it's not going to be good for the next team fight. Blue Amigo now needs to harass Vayne, take advantage of the fact that he's out of potions. I believe Vayne did use the last one, that's correct, did use the last potion. Also keep in mind that Vayne has a massive advantage having 2 Doran's Blades and shoes already. That's that first blood gold for you, plus the other advantage he has just in terms of farm. Very slight advantage, but still it's there. Tsuyoshi and Viper continuing to face off. I feel like this game is going to come down to AD carries, not to the AP carries. I think Viper is going to be huge in team fights, but I don't think he's going to dominate the same way that he kind of did on Orianna. I think Blue Amigo. I think it's on Blue Amigo's shoulders here. He needs to be able to outplay Huge Rectums all game. I think he's capable of it. He was pretty strong in the previous game. We'll see anyway. Mr. Bunnyman coming up to reinforce Rumble. He's forced to flash, so he did get his flash. That's pretty good. And top lane now is fairly even. Looking at 24 to 23. So yeah, fairly even's an understatement. We have both ults now. Viper flashing, no doubt to save his life, because otherwise he would have got caught in the ultimate from Zyra. Vipers are going to go back early. That's interesting. Zyra's staying in lane. If Viper comes back in and gets an initiate, Zyra is a goner. So Tsuyoshi has to be ready for that. By the way, Thresh is out of lane. He went back to buy. Abs 910. There are no wards currently bot lane. They've expired. It's at 6:45 now. So Thresh has come back with 1 fresh ward. He needs more. And he's going to place that in Tribush, I believe. Yeah, there it goes. In Tribush as expected. That's going to make it tough for Lee Sin to gank. Thresh is a hard champion to gank against. His between Flay and Death Sentence, hard enough. Not to mention Lantern, aka Dark Passage, or whatever silly pun name they gave it. I call it Lantern. I like Lantern better. Anyway, Mr. Bunnyman coming up to top lane. Big PP Swag is going to get dove under this tower. Let's see if they're going to commit to it. They decide not to. I suppose Scrap Shield was enough to dissuade them. Maybe it's a bit early. I don't know. I would have gone for it. But then again, these guys are a whole lot better than I am, so you probably should listen to me. Viper and Tsuyoshi fighting back and forth. And back to top lane again. Big PP Swag. He's doing just fine. See if anybody's pulling ahead. Viper's got a slight farm lead. We actually see Swasby coming down to blue. I don't think Bunnyman's going to... Well, oh, wow, he almost did. He actually hit the lizard. He almost got the steal. And Simplex is going to be forced out of here with being chased by Swasby and Mr. Bunnyman. But Tsuyoshi as well actually gets caught and is just narrowly going to escape. And Amumu actually picks up the kill on Swasby. That was pretty impressive. And Mr. Bunnyman forced to flash away. No, he is going to die to the Ignite. Followed by Kennen over the wall. That's a double kill for Tsuyoshi. He picked up 2 in that fight. Now 4-1 total for the team. That was a huge play. That attempt to steal blue completely backfired on them. I think if Lee Sin had landed that Sonic Wave on the blue buff instead of hitting the lizard, it would have been completely different. Tsuyoshi having that blue is a large part of what made her win the fight, after all. And if Lee Sin had stolen it, he may have even just escaped and taken his blue and left, but no. That was really impressive, especially Tsuyoshi just narrowly escaping that. As a matter of fact, Tsuyoshi could have died instantly if he had been a little bit slower on the flash, and that would also turn the fight around completely. So Solar Flare is hurting a little bit now, but it's not a huge lead. We're talking about 1.8k in gold, just a few kills, and in terms of levels, they're close enough. They're pretty even. We got 1 level in mid lane for the other team here. Well, Blue Amigo is not 6 yet, but he'll be 6 very soon. And it's not like it really matters. They can't dive him at this point. He'll be 6 before they can dive him, that's for sure. Oh, there's a Death Sentence on Leona, rapid fire. Also caught in the box. Condemned into the wall, but turns it around on Huge Rectums. Wow. And flashes out. How about that? That is why you do not focus Leona with your Death Sentence. Despite the full CC, the full round of CC on her. Still surviving. And Mr. Bunnyman's coming to back up in bot lane. Let's see if he can turn it around. I'm not really that confident he can. They're going to escape in time. Yeah, that was impressive from rapid fire. That was gutsy. He took the full round of CC, noticed he was still alive, and immediately turned it on Huge Rectums and forced them back, and then flashed out to survive. It was amazing. So Swasby getting a little bit too deep without vision and gets caught by Simplex. And unlike the earlier gank, this is going to result in Rumble picking up that kill. I can't say his name anymore. I'm just not going to say his name. I'm just going to call him Rumble. That is one of the worst names I've ever seen in League of Legends. Anyway, Viper MK2 forced out of lane. Tsuyoshi is just going to free farm now. See if Lee Sin wants to do something about that. I'm not sure. Speaking of free farming, Blue Amigo has free farm down bot lane. His ultimate is available. Position for the two teams, it's about a 2.5k difference, 5-1 on kills. Let's look at gold distribution. Yeah, they're pretty even. There's no one person running away with gold with a gold advantage. It's pretty even across the board. One team fight. This game is within one team fight, I believe. I think one team fight for Solar Flares could turn everything around for them. If you look at the combination of the Slicing Maelstrom on Kennen and Solar Flare. Yeah, I mean, with a name like Solar Flares, you think they have to play Leona every game, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. So here comes Viper MK2 warping in for a gank bot lane. Gets spotted, though. So he's not really going to get anything done unless they dive. I don't think he wants to, though. Tsuyoshi instead is going to get cut off by Mr. Bunnyman in enemy territory. This is not good for him. He's going to get caught by Viper MK2. We're going to jump back up in just a second and see what they're up to. Viper holding him off. Tsuyoshi, they're dodging each other's skill shots. Lands a Q. Ooh, that was a lot of burst damage, and he's gonna back off. But here comes Iron Will, Mr. Bunnyman, to stop that. There's a pink ward in Tri-Bush. Death Sentence missed on Blue Amigo. That's the right target, but he missed him. And a counter pink ward. So currently, it looks like the Vision War is being won decisively. Not by Solar Flares, put it that way. Demacian crew having both the lane and Tri-Bush vision. They do have the lane bush, but that's not going to be enough for Solar Flares. I got to be careful. Anyway, Tsuyoshi once again winning these trades with Viper. And there's a Death Sentence on Blue Amigo, but Huge Rectums is not in position to follow up. That's unfortunate. So it's just kind of bad timing. Of all the times you can land it, that was not the right time. And Swaz be trading with this big PP swag. There, I said his name. I said it wasn't going to, and then I did anyway. Looks like Trundle is winning this fight. Rumble's going to be forced to... There's the ultimate turning it around. Wow, okay, that was quick. Aye, wow, what a turnaround. Rumble baiting that into the ult, and the ult just shredded Trundle immediately. And speaking of getting shredded, down bottom lane, they did catch Leona and pressure her down, and unfortunately Blue Amigo couldn't follow up, so... I guess focusing Leona all game has gotten him somewhere, because they finally killed her. It took all that time, though. And the advantage that they have bot lane now with the Thresh Bane combination is really powerful. You know, the Leona Ezreal combination can't do anything to fight against them. I mean, clearly we saw it. They've had every advantage, and even just the barrier alone, they can get that, let alone kill Vayne. So they're going to need some jungle pressure. They're really going to need a lot of help from Mr. Bunnyman. He's going to need to camp bot lane now if they want to come ahead. But I don't think he can camp bot lane. I think he's got too much problems. I mean, Tsuyoshi's still out pressuring Viper MK2 by a long shot. Farm advantage is pretty similar. I mean, they're almost identical. However, Tsuyoshi did get that double kill earlier, as well as 2 assists. And no deaths. Viper first forced to pull back, excuse me. Let's see if Tsuyoshi wants to pull this. No, Tsuyoshi's freezing. Just auto-attacking. No, decided not to freeze. He's actually going to roam bot lane and take out this dragon. I wonder if they're going to go for a gank after. Nobody is dead on red team. Nobody's dead on Solar Flares, so... Demacian crew taking this because they know they have the vision advantage. And it's just a free dragon for Demacian crew. So now they're pulling ahead by over 4k. It's a pretty huge difference. And now Mr. Bunnyman pressuring Rumble again. Boy, he will not let up on Rumble, and he's a goner. Scrap Shield can't save him now. And that's a kill for Swazby, for Trundle. Revenge for that earlier bait. Viper just barely escaping that Ignite tick. I wasn't 100% sure if he would or not, but he did. One more tick would have got him. And he's going to be forced to go back because, I mean, he seems to be getting hit by those Qs. I mean, Tsuyoshi seems to be spot on with those Qs. And, oh, wow. Speaking of, oh, man. He used the E first. If he had used the Q first, I think he might have killed him. But Kennen popping this crack squirrel to escape that. That's what I call it anyway. Still, she's not going to pressure down this mid tower. It's pretty low. Oh, I don't know, Viper. Oh, wow. He actually landed that Q. God, that's so close. Oh, it could go either way, and there it is. The W follow-up from Viper getting the kill on Tsuyoshi, who was way overextended. All Tsuyoshi needed to do was land one ability on him, and that would have been a kill. But, nope. So great play by Viper, really knowing his champion. I mean, it was just a inch, just a millimeter away from death there. Barely winning that fight. It was like Bushido Blade, one shot right there. And the support's facing off bot lane. But Blue Amigo and Huge Rectums are returning to the fight. I think it's going to be pretty timid bot lane now. There's a death sentence on Blue Amigo. The instant I said that, I was proven wrong, of course. But Leona protecting him very well, as we mentioned before. Unfortunately, though, it's going to cost Leona her life. Rapid Fire dies, and Blue Amigo has gotten almost no damage done in that process. I think if the Rapid Fire had fled immediately after saving his lane partner, after saving Blue Amigo, I think if Rapid Fire had run away immediately, there was a chance he could have lived. Especially since there was a big gaping hole in the box that he could have gone through. The one that Ezreal ran into. Simplex looking to rub it in bot lane. Both junglers here. However, wow, Blue Amigo forced to Arcane Shift immediately. Simplex deciding not to commit to this. If I were him, I would have gone in. He has Flash and Ult available. I definitely would have Flash ulted after I saw the Arcane Shift, but that's just me. I'm sure it would have gone terribly. Meanwhile, speaking of going terribly, Big PP Swag now has a massive advantage top lane. His lane opponent Schwazby dying again to that ult. Schwazby definitely relying on the constant ganks from Mr. Bunnyman to have any kind of advantage. Now it's 9-3 with a 5.5k gold advantage as he just took a second tower. And Demacian crew's looking really good. Solar Flare is looking a little bit hurting. Rapid Fire getting caught around the corner. That's a nasty position to be caught in. And there's way too much CC to be dealt with here. They got Death Sentence, Flay, Bandage Toss, and so on. Not to mention Condemn. So not a good position to be caught in at all. And Blue Amigo is now like, dude, come on, give me a break. What am I going to do now? Simplex won't leave. Look at him. He's still there. He doesn't want to... He's not done. He's like, I still have Curse available. I haven't even used my Curse yet. So there's a Dark Passage, possibly, into a dive. I don't think Simplex wants to do that just yet. I understand. I mean, they got a lead. Why throw it away with a crazy play? After all, it's the other team that needs a crazy play. Did you see Death Sentence in the wrong direction? Maybe he just didn't see Viper there. I think is what it was. He was just helping out with the Wolves. Either way, it was bad timing because he could really use that right now. Instead, he's going to flash over the wall. Mr. Bunnyman following with Sonic Wave kick. But he's going to have to give up because he knows that Simplex and Rumble are right there. 6k gold advantage now. Let's see the distribution. Lot on Vayne. Wow. 6,300. He's actually 2k ahead of Ezreal. He's 50% ahead of his lane opponent there. Huge Rectums versus Blue Amigo. Yikes. I think Solar Flares is having an 80 carry problem. That's both games where their 80 carry has gotten kind of demolished by the enemy team. And I feel like if Solar Flares wants to have a chance, they have to put a circle of protection around Blue Amigo. They need to have Mr. Bunnyman just camp the hell out of that lane and let him farm freely, as well as pick up some kills. He really needs it. He can make a comeback. I mean, it's just like one team fight still. It's still like one team fight. Maybe not for the whole team to come back, but certainly for this one player. This one player, a really decisive team fight, he could come back and surpass Huge Rectums if he gets a majority of the kills. If he gets a triple or quadra, he could definitely turn that around. However, they also consider that they lost that dragon earlier too. That's a big problem. I don't know. It's definitely possible, but I'm not exactly confident about that. I think that we're going to see Huge Rectums have an advantage to the whole game. Anyway, Sioshi, oh, that was a nice juke. Swazby juking like crazy, but it's just not enough. I mean, there's just too much damage coming down, along with the slow from Pillar of Filth. And that's a kill, another kill, basically a free kill, in fact, for Demacian crew, and Solar Flare is really hurting there. That was a nice Iron Will to save Viper, but he actually managed to juke the Bandage Toss anyway. Still, good try. Death Sentence on Viper. He's going to be forced to flash out. That's not good. He needs that flash for a team fight. And he does have Slicing Maelstrom available. This is a 4v5 under the tower. They're not pressuring the tower very effectively, and the Solar Flare is going to hit 3 people. Leona's going to go deep on Sioshi. Huge Rectums, however, is free firing. Ouch! In the box, completely protecting Huge Rectums, and they couldn't even kill Sioshi there. While Huge Rectums and the CC from Thresh combined to just devastate their team. Viper is still alive, and he has not even used Slicing Maelstrom. Bad. Sorry, Viper, man. If he had that flash available, it's too bad he had to waste it because he could have just jumped right in there and done a lot of damage. I mean, look how low Sioshi is. He would have died immediately, and then he could have pressured Huge Rectums, and maybe that fight would have gone differently. But no, it was a combination of mistakes and bad timing that led to that happening. They've already got an inhibitor. We're only 20 minutes into the game. I haven't looked at the time. I've got the time covered up. That's how I record them now. So I don't know if this game is going to be over soon or not. I hope it's not. I hope we see a comeback. But so far, it's not looking good for Solar Flares. They are getting absolutely demolished by Demacian crew, which is too bad. I like these guys. I do like these guys. I'm a Leona player lately. I've been a big Leona kick, in fact. And I like to see a Leona player in a game like this. It's just, you know, especially, you know, the fact that the name of the team is Solar Flares, so of course they have to have Leona. But they're getting a little bit stomped right now. It's up to 11k. I mean, they're certainly past that point where one team fight can turn around the game. They need to win a lot of team fights. They need to have a really ideal initiate. And I feel like in that last game, that last fight, if they had been at full strength, and if Kennen had his flash, then they really had something there. I mean, that Solar Flare was immaculate. And unfortunately, the Zenith Blade was not on Vayne. Really needed to be. But they could have at least killed Tsuyoshi. And it's tough to say which one's more dangerous. I mean, Tsuyoshi is almost as high in farm. And there's a interesting Rumble trying to save that. Just trying to save the tower. That's all he's trying to do. Basically saying, get the hell out of here. I thought he would wait for Tsuyoshi, but he just would rather not have the tower take damage. Plus, it's not like they were going to win a 2v4 anyway. Even with the advantage in levels they have. Well, I don't know. Now that I think about it, maybe they would. That would have been fun to watch either way. Just noticing Blue Amigo is only level 10. So that's not good. He just popped 11 right as I said that, though. So, making me a liar. Let's look at gold distribution once again. We're seeing about a 3k difference still. Actually, it was 2k before, so it's a much bigger difference now. With Vayne at 5-0-2 at top farm. Matter of fact, top overall farm for both teams. That's a bad position to be in. You do not want the enemy Vayne to be that far ahead of everybody else, for God's sake. And they're in a really rough shape. I think the next team fight, they have to really do something. Solar Flares has to get a nice catch. I think if they kill either Huge Rectums or Tsuyoshi separately, like in a pick, then they can force a power play, basically. And, you know, with their team fighting capability, they can do it. I mean, they really can do it. I mean, they have two good bruisers. One very highly mobile, one that's just really, really difficult to kill. And then they have AoE, massive AoE damage from Viper, who's, I would say, is their best player. He is their top farmer right now as well. There's the Baron, forced Baron here from our blue team, from Demacian crew. Big PB Swag taking those hits, swapping off with Simplex. They do have the Smite Control. Mr. Bunnyman kind of acts like he wants to steal, but no, he's not going to go for it. Probably smart. I mean, why throw your life away already? You're already behind. No need to do that. However, if he did steal it, I would have cheered. Would have been so happy. But so there's a Baron at 23 minutes. So they have two Dragons and a Baron for Demacian crew, as well as all the other myriad of advantages. So we're talking about a 12k gold advantage and level advantage. A couple levels here and there. Nothing devastating in levels. This level 15 Rumble, though, that's a little scary. Especially if I was playing that level 10 Leona. I wouldn't want the enemy tank to have 5 levels on me. That's not good. There's a free tower. They have total map control. I mean, Solar Flares is pushed in. They have to constantly defend their mid lane. If you look at Vision, I mean, Solar Flares does have a few wards out, but it doesn't even come close. Not even close to what Demacian crew has. I mean, Solar Flares cannot leave their base. If they go anywhere in their upper jungle at all, they get spotted instantly and get slaughtered. So I guess they can take their blue. That's about all they can do. And pray to God. That's what they need. They need prayer. No, what they really need is a good initiate. They really need a Zenith Blade Solar Flare on, you name it, Tsuyoshi, Huge Rectum, one of those two. It's got to be one of those two. The rest of them, forget it. If they waste everything on one of those, then they're done. Alright guys, I got to stall. I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for you. I like the Solar Flares, you know. I like them. I hope they have a chance to come back and make this one even. Huge Rectum's pushing up bot lane. They already took the top tower. They have their Baron. This will be the last of the inner turrets. Matter of fact, this is the last turret outside the base. And that's going to go uncontested. We see Abs 910. I've been calling him Thresh all game. Abs 910 looking for an opportunity. But he did get spotted by a ward. He saw the ward drop, so he knows to back off. And now they have a great chance to push either bot or mid or just do a split push, or they can just shove it in. I think they're just going to shove it in. Rapid Fire is so far behind, he's going to push back. There's that ult from Ezreal. There's a nice Solar Flare. It doesn't matter because they destroyed the tower in time. The Amumu ult from Simplex goes down and everybody is completely screwed. Viper was caught in a horrible position and completely did not get a chance to do anything. He didn't even get a chance to use his ult. That was so... Oh man, that was rough. I'm going to go back again and watch this Amumu play because I thought it was pretty impressive. Let's watch Simplex specifically. I'm going to zoom in on him on the direct camera here. And he's going to just jump in. As soon as they take this tower, as soon as the tower goes down, he's going to go right, walk, flash, ult. That's how you do it. You flash ult, and then he combos the bandage toss directly on top of Viper. And they managed to completely evaporate the other two, Mr. Bunnyman and Blue Amigo. But Viper was clearly their target, and they focused him and they killed him. He didn't get a chance to do anything. And they're going to not only destroy this inhibitor, but they're going to destroy the second inhibitor, mid of which is just respawned. As a matter of fact, it's respawned so soon, so recently that there's two Supermarines attacking it. And that's done. So they're going to push these towers. This has got to be a GG. I don't see how there's any way that Solar Flares can make a play out of this. Trundle by himself. They're going to have people up in like a few seconds, but no, it's done. Alright, well that's game one for Demacian crew. Kind of a stomp. All game. A huge superior play by the AD carry, followed by a perfect Amumu play at the end of the game, sealing it and ending it at 26 minutes. So definitely a stomp. But good game. Demacian crew defeating Solar Flares game one. See you next game.